Okay, episode 5. About time we moved on to everyone's favourite character, Gerald Croft. Point out in the comments if you know why. I definitely do. Okay, so number 44. I was awfully busy in Act 1. He said it in Act 1, that wasn't a part of the quote. This is a part where he talks about how he was awfully busy last summer doing stuff like business, when he was actually having an affair with Daisy Renton. Despite how bad this seems, he was one of the only people who actually cared for her throughout this play. All the characters mostly were just incredibly mean to her, and that led to her death, but Gerald Croft actually helped her out by providing money, accommodation. He was actually an okay person, but still regrets his actions for cheating on Sheila, so he clearly learns from his mistakes. And then number 45 there, you see a nice well-behaved family. See, this is incredibly ironic, calling them nice and well-behaved. As we know, Mr. Birling and Mrs. Birling aren't particularly nice people, and the idea of being well-behaved, that adjective then, there, is incredibly important, as they weren't particularly well behaved. I mean, their actions led to a woman dying, and it's not very nice, is it? So, yeah. Okay, so number 46. We're respectable citizens and not criminals. This sort of just shows, like, the idea that there is a clear difference between being a respectable citizen and a criminal. I mean, it doesn't really tell you that who were once respectable citizens can become criminals. It's not, he isolates the groups. He says, I'm a respectable citizen, therefore I can't be a criminal, when you can be both at the same time. Another part where someone is isolating groups of people, which is the idea of we are not all together as one community, and we're not all working together. Some of us are respectable citizens, and then there's the criminals over there. Same with the upper class here, the lower class over there. It's all the entire same thing. Why should we be responsible for what the criminals do? 47. I don't come into this suicide business. Okay, so this part is basically he's saying that he has nothing to do with it, because basically she killed herself. He doesn't believe that their actions led to her killing herself. He just believes she decided to do it. It was her decision. He doesn't believe in the idea of collective guilt due to the cause and effect of their actions. I mean, he doesn't believe that their actions really had consequences. I mean, what difference did it make? Although it made a massive difference, and that was the point. And the next quote, number 48, she was very pretty. This is used in Act 2 to talk about Eva Smith, who, yeah, she was technically Eva Smith then, not Daisy Renton. So this is his reason for having an affair with Daisy Renton. She was very pretty, and this line shows a lot about women at the time and how they were treated, like objectified and stuff. It was not very nice. So yeah. Also, it's kind of ironic again how it links to Sheila before being in the shop. She complained and got Eva Smith fired because she looked prettier than her, and that's exactly what Gerald Croft says, which is just kind of ironic, I guess. It's the same reason for two things. It's almost as if these two events were somehow linked, because it was just an unlucky chance, you know? Yeah. 49. I didn't feel about her the way she felt about me. In this quote, Gerald is saying that he didn't particularly love Daisy Renton that much, or Eva Smith. He didn't feel the same about her as she felt about him. However, he still felt like he should help her, which I guess is showing a tiny little bit of responsibility early on. So, I guess he's sort of a mixture character. He has a bit of responsibility, but is still a bit stuck in the old ways. Like, thinking citizens are not criminals, and then thinking he can treat women like that, so he's sort of in between. So the final quote of Gerald Croft is, "She was very gallant about it." This is in the part where Gerald Croft says to Daisy Renton that he's going to have to kick her out, and he's not on an affair with her anymore, and he says she was very gallant about it. However, there are dashes between she was and about it. Both sides are very gallant, which makes him seem almost hesitant and unsure, like, what should I say it hurt her? I'm not sure. So he is sort of, in a way, despite trying to help her in the first place, he still is concerned about the actions of his consequences and doesn't want to admit everything. Another thing you could say about that is the fact that she was very gallant about it. That wouldn't really be something you normally expect of a girl of that class again. She just breaks the stereotype, and that's exactly what this is meant to be. Despite trying to make Eva Smith like a stereotypical name, an average person, she somehow manages to stick out morally in all of these things where none of the upper class people do. So that's what makes her really stand out. Even though she has no lines in the actual play, she doesn't really even have a character at all, we still learn a lot about her through these interactions, and we begin to see that she's not just a stereotype, and that's how we're meant to think about it all together. These are individual people, how Eric thought about it. So yeah, these are the three people who change throughout the story. As I said before, Gerald not to the same extent as the others. He doesn't feel as bad about his actions as Eric and Sheila, but he still is changed by the experience. So that's Gerald Croft complete. I believe we only have one or two more, so goodbye. That was episode 5, 6, 5. Yeah.